Well, it is time once again for today's breakfast bite, and it's my privilege to welcome once again Reverend Gareth Higgs. Hey, Gareth, how you doing?
Hi, Nathan. I'm good, thanks. Good morning, everybody listening.
Yeah, so good to see you again, and I'm looking forward to another breakfast bite. Do you want to dive right in?
Sure, yeah, I will do. I was just reflecting the other day on a man I used to know who was a fine craftsman. That was what he did for his living. Sort of person that would fashion this incredible model classic cars. And he'd sort of spend 2 or 3 years working on one, and then he'd sell them for like 60, 70, 90,000 pounds, that sort of thing. And it was phenomenal, his ability to sort of do metalwork and woodwork and all sorts of stuff was really, really incredible. And every now and again, you'd get a sneak peek into his workshop and go and see them. And these were made to order, obviously, sort of collectible things, really, really important things. But the problem with the things that he made, the cars that he made, is that they were replicas. They they didn't have an engine in them. They could never go anywhere. They were designed simply to be in a big glass case and paraded in some rich person's house. I'm sure they were lovely, but they were nothing like the real thing. And it just reminded me of a passage in the Bible that I was looking at recently, which is in the book of Exodus, when Moses, the leader of God's people, is up the mountain in sort of communion dialogue with God, understanding the laws to build a nation and to build a world. And down at the bottom of and this is taking a long process, and down at the bottom of the mountain are God's people, and they're getting a bit nervous and a bit fed up. Moses has disappeared. He's been gone a while, and they're getting a little bit uneasy. And so they go, I know what we'll do. We'll make a replica of God. And they melt down all their jewelry and they make a golden calf, maybe an ox or a bull. And they decide we'll stick that before us and we'll start worshipping that. And that will be like a replica of God. And of course, the the Lord hates this. God hates this. He's kind of saying, why do you waste your time really with something so fake when you can commune with, connect with the real thing? And actually, all over our lives, we are just so prone to putting other things before the Lord, aren't we? We're prone to investing our energy and trying to draw strength from things that actually are kind of are worthless and are just replicas that pale into insignificance compared to the real thing. It's amazing how the people of Israel have got a really short memory. They forget all that God has done for them, and they start to sort of moan and say, "Oh, we don't really kind of want to relate to this God anymore. He doesn't appear to be doing very much for us. It feels like he's perhaps asleep on the job, and Moses is taking a while." But actually, it's when I guess we're tempted to do that. We're tempted to think that kind of God needs a helping hand or he's forgotten what he's about. But actually, what the people of Israel need to do is to look back actually in history and look at God's track record to see that he's the God that brought them out of Egypt. He's the God that saved and rescued, who healed, who provided for them, gave them bread in the desert, water from a rock. And I want to encourage us that when we're tempted to kind of invest our time and effort and energy into replicas, they may not be golden calves, but they may be just focusing far too much energy that we need to on our favorite football team, or investing in a person and putting our hope in a person over and above God. That actually, it's worth remembering God's track record, remembering all that he has done for us, all that he does for us, and all that he will continue to do. Remember how powerful he is to deliver and save and rescue, and to remember that nothing else actually comes even remotely close to him. He's the all-powerful God, and he's worth investing time, energy, effort in directly, as Moses was doing up the mountain in the presence of God, receiving the instructions of God, seeking to live by them. If we do the same, relate directly to God, put him as number one, we're on a much better track.
Mm. So good there, Gareth. And it kind of reminds me actually, what you said about last week. We need to read the Bible, and the Bible really gives us a good track record of God's promises, God fulfilling His promises. That's
Completely. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, completely agree. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, you completely agree. It's sort of littered with, with God's activities, what God has done, and part of its role is to build confidence in us that that same God who acted in this way and years ago is the same God who acts in this way today and will do in the future.
Yeah. And I guess that's why it's really good to write down perhaps answers to prayer when God has done what he said he would do, when God has helped us. Because then when we have moments of doubt, moments of distress, we can look back at those and remember the truth.
Yeah, I completely agree. I keep a little journal, and when every now and again, when I look back on records from years ago, I'm always encouraged by what God has done and brought me through. So, always encourage folk to do that.
Yeah, we have a picture frame actually with a list of all our answered prayers. So we can look back at that over our fireplace.
Oh, amazing! That's a great thing to do. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's really nice to look at it and just to see where, we prayed for this, God answered our prayers, and we were in this difficult time, but God got us out. So it's really useful.
No, amazing, amazing. What a great testimony.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Gareth. Thank you for bringing us today's breakfast bite, and I look forward to another one next week.
No worries. Take care.
Pure 24/7 radio is listener supported, which means we are free, online and always pure because of the generous support of our listeners. If you would like to contribute financially, please visit pure247radio.org. If you'd like to find out how we use your money, please visit the Our Cost section. Any donation of any size will help keep us on air and broadcasting for free. Thank you.